Welcome to Parenting Masterclass, Raising Thriving Kids as Future Leaders. In this podcast, we explore practical strategies, insights, and proven techniques to help you navigate the rewarding yet challenging journey of nurturing your children into confident, capable future leaders. Each episode dives into a unique topic, offering wisdom from thought-provoking books, expert insights, and actionable advice tailored to today's parenting challenges. In today's episode, we'll summarize and review the enlightening book, How Your Child's Brain Learns Best. This guide unpacks how the brain functions in children and provides science-backed strategies to maximize your child's learning potential. Whether you're a new parent, a seasoned one, or someone invested in understanding young minds, this episode is packed with invaluable insights. Be sure to subscribe to Parenting Masterclass so you never miss an episode. If you find today's discussion helpful, please share it with fellow parents and caregivers. Subscribe and turn on the notification button to stay informed of our subsequent episodes. Together, we can raise a generation of thriving leaders. Let's dive in.
Today's deep dive is going to be into how your child learns best. Brain-friendly strategies you can use to ignite your child's learning and increase school success.
Oh, yeah.
And this is by Judy Willis, MD, ME.
I love this book.
It's like a treasure map.
It is.
For parents
Yeah.
who want to help their kids just thrive in school
Absolutely.
by understanding how their brains learn best.
Yeah, and it's really like taking the brain science, putting it into practical stuff that you can do at home.
Yes, exactly. And before we jump into it,
Yes.
don't forget to check out our YouTube channel
Yes.
for more book summaries, reviews,
Absolutely.
and even complete audiobooks.
Yes.
Okay, so this book covers a lot from reading comprehension and math mastery to test prep and sparking the love for science.
Yeah.
It's packed with tips to help you unlock your child's learning potential.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely. One of the things that I think is so important is understanding the brain's filters. The RAS and the amygdala.
The RAS, that sounds pretty technical.
Reticular activating system.
Okay, break it down for us.
So think of it this way. It's the gatekeeper to your child's attention.
Ooh.
It's deciding what information is even going to get through to the thinking parts of the brain.
Wow.
So if they're bored or distracted, their RAS might be filtering out important information, even if you're, saying it over and over.
Okay, so then how do we get past that gatekeeper?
Right. So that's where the amygdala comes in.
Okay.
This is like the emotional center of the brain, and it can help or hurt.
Right.
If your child is stressed or anxious, the amygdala can block information from getting to the thinking part of the brain.
So creating a positive and relaxed learning environment
Exactly.
is key.
It's huge. It's like a guard dog. If it senses danger, it shuts everything down.
No pressure cookers allowed.
Exactly.
All right.
Now, the book also talks about dopamine, the neurotransmitter associated with pleasure.
Ooh, dopamine.
When your child enjoys something, dopamine gets released.
Yes.
And then it's like a superpower for focus, attention, and memory.
So learning needs to be fun.
It does.
I love that.
It does.
But how do we make those fun experiences stick?
Yeah, so the book talks about two different types of memory, rote memory and relational memory.
Okay.
Rote memory is like cramming for a test.
Right.
You might remember it for a little bit, but it fades really quickly.
Okay.
Relational memory is about making connections.
Ooh.
It's like weaving a web of knowledge. The more connections you make, the stronger that memory is going to be.
Okay, so instead of just memorizing multiplication tables,
All right.
it's better to help kids understand how multiplication works in real life.
Exactly.
Like if they have 3 friends and want to give each friend 2 cookies,
Exactly.
how many cookies do they need?
You're making those connections.
Right.
And here's where it gets even more exciting.
Uh-huh.
Neuroplasticity.
Ooh.
The brain's incredible ability to change and grow through learning. Every time your child learns something new, their brain forms new connections. It's like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets.
Okay, so we got the brain filters, we got dopamine, we got neuroplasticity.
Yes.
Where do learning styles fit into all of this?
So this is where it gets really practical. The book focuses on 2 main learning styles: visual spatial kinesthetic learners, VSK,
Okay.
and auditory sequential, AS learners.
Okay.
And understanding your child's learning style can help you tailor the activities to make learning click.
So are VSK learners, are they the show me kids?
Yes, exactly. They thrive on visuals, hands-on activities, creative problem solving. They're the builders, the artists, the kids that love to, take things apart, put them back together. They need to see, touch, and experience information to really grasp it.
Okay. And then what about AS learners? Are they more tell me
Yes.
oriented?
They excel with clear instructions, step-by-step processes, and verbal explanations. They're the organizers. They're the list makers, the ones that love a good routine. And they process information in a linear, logical way.
So if you have a VSK learner who's struggling with math, you might try using manipulatives
Yes.
or real-life examples to kind of bring those concepts to life.
Exactly.
And for an AS learner, you might focus on breaking down complex problems into smaller, more manageable steps.
Exactly. You're adapting your approach to match your child's strengths, and the book even encourages you to share this information with the teacher. Imagine how much smoother sailing school could be
Yeah,
if you're all on the same page.
it would be so much better.
Yes.
Now, this is getting me excited to dive into some specific learning areas like reading.
Yes.
Because let's face it, reading is the foundation
It is.
for so much learning.
It is.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And this book has some really insightful strategies for building strong readers from a very young age.
I love it.
So the book really emphasizes the importance of phonemic awareness,
Okay.
which is like the ability to hear and manipulate the individual sounds in words. So it's the foundation for decoding, which is like crucial for reading.
So it's not just about like recognizing the letters.
Right.
It's about understanding how those letters
Exactly.
represent sounds.
It's the sounds that the letters make.
Yes.
And here's something I thought was so interesting.
Okay.
The book highlights how a parent's own reading habits can influence their child's perception of reading.
Oh, interesting.
If your child sees you reading for pleasure, it sends a powerful message.
Yeah.
It's like saying, hey, reading is fun. It's something we do for enjoyment.
That makes a lot of sense. It's about like creating that culture of literacy
Yeah,
at home.
exactly.
But what if you have a child that just doesn't seem interested in reading?
Right. So that's where understanding their learning style can be super helpful.
Okay.
The book gives you specific strategies for supporting different learners. For example, if you have a VSK learner who's struggling,
Okay.
you might try using visualization techniques, encourage them to picture what's happening in the story, almost like they're creating a movie in their minds.
I like that.
And then for an AS learner,
You might focus on breaking down the text into smaller chunks.
right,
Maybe even create a timeline or a flow chart to help them visualize the sequence of events.
so you're adapting your approach to match your child's strengths.
Exactly.
I love that.
The book also emphasizes the importance of vocabulary building,
Right.
but it's not just about memorizing definitions.
Yeah.
It's about making connections between those new words and their personal experiences, their interests, even sensory activities.
I love that.
Right.
Instead of just drilling flashcards,
Right.
you could play a game where you activate different emotions or create a word wall
Yeah.
with like pictures and real life examples.
Exactly. You're making those words come alive.
Yes.
Now let's talk about reading comprehension, because it's not enough to just decode the words. You have to understand what you're reading.
That's where I struggled as a kid.
Right.
I could read the words, but I couldn't always make sense of them.
So the book has some great strategies for that too.
It emphasizes the power of activating prior knowledge before reading to build connections and increase engagement.
Okay.
So before your child starts a new book, you might have a conversation with them about what they already know about the topic,
Okay.
or have them make predictions about what might happen.
So it's like giving their brains a little warm up before the big game.
Exactly.
I like it.
The book also mentions a strategy called KWL. It stands for Know, Want to Know, Learned.
Okay.
It's a really simple but powerful way to encourage active reading.
Mm-hmm.
You start by asking your child what they already know about the topic,
Right.
then what they want to learn,
Okay.
and finally you reflect on what they learned after reading.
I love how that encourages them to like think critically about the text and make connections to their own lives.
Exactly. And speaking of making connections, the book also highlights the importance of prediction and summarizing as key strategies for boosting comprehension.
Okay.
Encourage your child to pause while reading and ask themselves, what do I think will happen next?
Right. Or how can I sum up what I just read in my own words?
These are such practical tips. It's like giving kids the tools to become active readers rather than passive recipients of information.
Now, shifting gears a bit, let's talk about math,
Okay.
a subject that can often evoke anxiety
Oh, tell me about it.
for both kids and parents.
My math struggles are legendary in my family.
But this book seems to offer a different perspective on math learning.
Okay.
It emphasizes understanding concepts over rote memorization and encourages parents to reframe math learning as something that can be fun and engaging.
I love that.
It's about building confidence and a positive attitude towards math.
That's so important because I think a lot of math anxiety stems from that feeling of pressure to get the right answer,
Right.
even if you don't understand the process.
Exactly. And the book stresses the importance of focusing on the process, on understanding how math works in real-life situations. So instead of just drilling flashcards for multiplication,
Right.
you might bake a cake together and talk about fractions.
Ooh, I like that.
Or use Lego blocks to build different shapes and explore geometry.
I love those ideas. It's about making those abstract concepts
Right.
tangible and relatable.
Exactly. The book also talks about understanding your child's math readiness before introducing new concepts.
Okay.
Just like you wouldn't expect a toddler to run a marathon.
Right.
You shouldn't push a child to grasp complex math concepts before they have the foundational skills.
That makes sense. It's about building a solid foundation and progressing at a pace that works for your child.
The book also offers specific tips for managing that math anxiety.
Okay.
One suggestion is to break down problems into smaller steps.
Okay.
Another is to provide plenty of positive reinforcement focusing on effort and progress, rather than just the final answer.
It's about creating that safe space for learning where mistakes are seen as opportunities for growth.
Exactly.
I wish I had that kind of environment when I was struggling with math.
Now, moving beyond reading and math, the book also explores strategies for igniting interest in science and social studies.
These subjects often get bogged down in rote memorization.
Right.
But the book encourages a more engaging and inquiry-based approach.
I think those subjects have so much potential to be exciting and captivating.
They do.
How does the book suggest bringing them to life?
One key point is relating science and social studies to everyday life and current events. So instead of just memorizing facts about the solar system, you might watch a documentary together about space exploration.
Okay.
Or talk about how the seasons change.
Right.
And instead of just reading about historical figures, you might visit a museum.
Right.
Or explore your family's genealogy.
It's about making those subjects relevant and sparking genuine curiosity.
Exactly. The book also highlights the importance of modeling curiosity and a love for learning as a parent.
Right.
It's about showing your child that learning is a lifelong adventure, not just something you do in school.
So asking questions together,
Right.
exploring new topics, even admitting when you don't know something are all great ways to foster that love for learning.
Absolutely. It's about creating a culture of learning at home, where curiosity is celebrated and knowledge is valued.
Now, all this talk about learning in school makes me wonder, does the book address test preparation?
Yes.
Because let's be real, tests can be a major source of stress
It can be.
for kids and parents.
For everyone.
And the book dedicates a whole section to brain-friendly test preparation.
It does.
It's not about cramming or memorizing facts at the last minute.
Yeah.
It's about helping your child feel confident and prepared by utilizing their learning strengths and managing stress.
Exactly.
That sounds much more humane.
It is.
So what are some of the key strategies that it recommends?
One strategy is called VEER,
Okay.
which stands for visualize, enter, take notes, edit, review.
Okay.
It's a systematic approach to studying that helps kids process information in a way that makes sense for their learning style.
I love that acronym. It's so much easier to remember than just study harder.
Right.
The book also emphasizes the importance of positive visualization for managing test anxiety. It's about helping kids calm their nerves and focus on their strengths.
Yes.
And it suggests a technique called test fortification, which involves writing down key information before starting the test
Yes.
to reduce cognitive load and free up working memory.
Exactly.
Wow, these are such practical and empowering strategies.
They are.
It's about giving kids the tools to approach tests with confidence and a sense of control.
Now, I know we've covered a lot of ground today,
We have.
but there's so much more in this book that we haven't even touched on.
You're right. It's jam-packed with insights and strategies.
It is.
I'm already thinking about all the things I want to try with my kids.
And that's what's so exciting about this book. It's not just theory. It's a toolkit filled with practical ideas that you can implement right away.
It feels like we've just scratched the surface of this book.
I know, right?
There's so much in here.
It really is jam-packed.
But I'm already thinking about all the ways I can apply these strategies, not just for my kids,
Right.
but for like my own learning too.
Absolutely. I mean, these principles apply to learners of all ages.
It's true.
Yeah.
Okay, so before we wrap up, I want to touch on one thing that really resonated with me.
Okay.
The book really emphasizes the importance of creating a positive learning environment,
Yes.
both at home and at school.
Yes. It's about fostering that sense of joy, curiosity, and excitement around learning.
Yeah.
When children feel safe, supported, encouraged, they're so much more likely to thrive.
It makes me think about how my own attitude towards learning can impact my kids if I approach learning with enthusiasm and a growth mindset.
Yes.
They're more likely to do the same.
You're modeling that love for learning.
Exactly.
Right.
The book also highlights the power of positive reinforcement.
Oh, yes.
Praise and encouragement go a long way
Huge.
in building confidence and motivation.
Absolutely.
So instead of just like pointing out mistakes,
Right.
we should be celebrating those aha moments
Yes.
and acknowledging their effort.
It's about nurturing that growth mindset where challenges are seen as opportunities for learning and development.
I love that. Now, I know we talked about a lot of different strategies and techniques,
We did.
but I think the most important takeaway from this book is that every child has the potential to learn and succeed.
Absolutely. It's about finding what motivates them, tapping into their strengths, and providing them with the support they need to thrive.
Yes, and remembering that learning is a journey,
Yes,
not a destination.
it is a journey.
There will be bumps along the road,
There will be.
but with patience, encouragement, and a willingness to adapt, we can help our children reach their full potential.
I love that.
This book is truly a game changer for parents who want to understand how their children learn best and create a more joyful and effective learning experience.
It's a must-read for anyone who's passionate about education
I agree.
and wants to make a positive impact on the lives of children.
So what's one learning activity you're inspired to try with your child based on what we've explored today? Share your ideas in the comments section below.
And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into fascinating topics. We're excited to continue this journey of learning and discovery with you.
And be sure to let us know in the comments what book you'd like us to explore in our next episode. We love hearing your suggestions.